The Queen's called Matilda. Shall we have a look? So again, we're going to go back to 1066 with William of Normandy becoming William I of England. Now, up in Scotland, there's a king called Malcolm Malcolm III. Now, he's married to Margaret of Wessex. That's a really interesting line as well, but not for today. William I was married to our first Matilda I. And together they had 10 children who reached adulthood. William II became the next king, and then Henry, his brother, came king after him. Now, he was married to the daughter of Malcolm and Margaret. Sounds like your next door neighbour. But they had a daughter, and guess what she was called? Matilda. So she was Matilda of Scotland, and our second Matilda in the story. Now, Henry I and Matilda had an heir apparent called William. He died in the White Ship disaster amongst many nobles. But it was okay because he had a sister. And guess what she was called? She was called Matilda. And Matilda was initially married to Henry V, Holy Roman Emperor. But he died, and then she married a chap called Geoffrey of Anjou, Geoffrey Plantagenet of Anjou. Together they had an heir called Henry. But Matilda, who was the Empress Matilda because of her marriage, well, she should have become queen when Henry died. He'd asked his nobles to swear allegiance to her as queen. But when he died in 1135, it all went a bit wrong, because up stepped Stephen. And Stephen had been involved at court, and he'd been doing all right, and he was a man, and he wasn't just any old random. He was a cousin, because he was the son of Adela, who was the sister of Henry. So Stephen was a cousin of Empress Matilda, and they fought like mad. She came with followers and fought it out. Now, Stephen was married to a woman called Matilda. So Empress Matilda's our third Matilda, and she's our fourth Matilda. As she was involved as well. When Stephen got captured, she went and helped rescue him, etc. But again, she wasn't just some random punter off the street. Matilda was the daughter of somebody called Mary of Scotland. And that's because she was the sister, how do we do this, of Matilda. There we go. So Stephen and Matilda had a son called Eustace. He died young. So Matilda was dead and Eustace was dead. And Stephen eventually gave the throne, when he died, to Henry II. So the throne went William, Henry, Stephen, Henry. But around all of them, there were a lot of Matildas.